Hello and welcome back, and of course this is the Nasty Mail Productions channel here at YouTube. So of course you can see as the title, this is the vinyl edition for the currently listening to series, because of I have been recently playing a bit more vinyl than usually, and it's been a long time since I've been listening to vinyl constantly, because of back in like 2012 and 11 and so forth, when I, started getting into vinyl. I was listening to quite a bit, but starting with like 2013, 14, and then 15, I was like down and out within vinyl, due to prices is for one. Mostly the vinyl I wanted to get, albums and such, mostly at the most ridiculous price. The rare stuff. I was mostly getting at a lot of that rare metal, and that's the obscure shit. And of course, record stores have, since I live in Susanville, and I'm like an hour away from like Reno, which has most of the great record stores there, like Spinner's Records. Damn. I'm not gonna spend too much time, and I just completely got bored in a way. That, and I just was lazy to even want to even do it. To me, I was just getting a little tired of it, of having to just go all the way to somewhere, just an hour drive, just to find certain albums that really don't interest me, or certain, just that, and also going to Rasputin down in Fresno with their vinyls. Most of those around $30 range. And I'm not going to pay $30 for a bootleg copy of Legends from the Forge, or whatever that album is, the epic progressive heavy metal band that released that album in 1979. I'm not gonna pay $30 for a fucking bootleg. So that's why. But yet I've been getting back into it. So let's definitely get into this video. Of course, you probably know what band this is. This is, of course, Raven, Wiped Out. Killer album. Plus I bought this back in 2012 at Recycled Records. It's not the best condition, but it's fine, because of, again, if you can see, there's like tears around the fucking corners, but plays fine. But the reason why I played this is because I just got done listening to this damn album, and if this is an album I showed in my 5 Random Records, Lee Michaels 5th. Yeah, I went and decided to give this a listen because I never heard it, and I showed it in my 5 Random Records. I had nothing else to say about it because I never heard it, so that's why I was very very hesitant with showing that album in my 5 Random Records video, and I pulled it out. But sometimes you have to give a listen to certain albums that might not even interest you. So I did that. What's my actual thoughts on it? It's okay. It's not the best. It's not, of course, it was released in 1971. Looking this guy up, he was working with guys such as Jimi Hendrix and such, and he's a organ player. This album is all organ. A little bit of keyboards, organ, all that shit. A little bit of what was that, saxophone. But if I'm gonna hear organ, I'd rather just go and listen to Greg Raleigh, a fucking Journey, Santana. Just hear him play the fucking thing instead of listening to this, because this is too damn poppy for me, if you ask me. It's just too damn poppy, and songs are just fucking yaw, which is probably the dumbest fucking title you can ever name a track, really. And I don't know, I was just almost ready to fucking turn the damn thing off, and pretty much I decided to put on Raven's Wiped Out, so I'm not gonna say too much on it. But So yeah, and I got done listening to another album which is in this stack. So definitely, it's like, again, you do not listen to a Lee Michaels record after you just got done listening to a fucking metal album. No, bad idea, because of it. You're just gonna be stuck in one certain mood. So let's definitely get into the next record. Of course, Cloudy Mulder, whatever. He showed this LP, and even before he showed this LP, I think it was like one of the 80s hard rock and heavy metal videos that he did. He showed this, and I was very inspired to listen to it again. This is Mallet Head. Now, this is a US pressing. His pressing is a European pressing on Roadrunner, which I knew about, but there's also a Canadian pressing on Fringe Records, which also inspired me to play another album by a band that was on the Fringe label product, or records. But here, this is Mallet Head. This is a US pressing on Old Nick and Frontier Records. Don't think it's the same Frontier Records as the the AOR hard rock label that's signed bands such as Dawkins and whoever fucking else. But here's something, and I'll show off the label on here. I'll show off but of course, his doesn't have a punch hole, which I think could be like a deleted item or a promotional copy. Don't know. But here's one thing also different about his, different from my copy and his. I'm not sure if all European copies have this, but mine's got a printed inner sleeve or something like that, which is this, which of course has a band photo, lyrics, and all that. So I don't know how many copies have this. I don't know if it's just exclusively to the US pressing, but that's the one thing I noticed that was different about his copy, is it doesn't have this. And I purchased this also from Recycled Records along at the same time as it got Ravens wiped out, but I'll show off the label right here. But I will say something about this album. It's a short album. It pretty much barely makes the full-length mark, because it's pretty much almost around 25 minutes. It's 10 tracks. I know the CD pressing of this album actually has like about 12 tracks, which ends up, kind of longing up the time to where it's almost around 31 minutes long. But it's a good album though. I do like it. It's definitely close, kind of like your street sort of style metal in a way. That's what I kind of get from this album. It's got a bit of a street feeling to it. It's punkish because of some of the members were from the band Gangrene. Excuse me, but again, tracks such as Spoonfed, which, you know, it's when he said that this album reminded him a bit of the Cult. When I heard this album, I didn't get any vibes of the Cult, but re-listening to it, I actually got those vibes. So, especially from the track Spoonfed, I think it's also due to the singer, who's got a very raspy sort of voice to it, which I dig. But other tracks in there that I do like is Killer Pussy, Spoonfed, Fight, Die For My Soul, Duel. Those are some of the best songs off here. Of course, you got It Was a Blasphemy, Was It a Blast For You? Which isn't a very metal track on here. It's definitely different. But for some reason, the singer on his style on here is reminding me a little bit of Jim Morrison of The Doors. Reminds me a little bit on this track. It's probably it's only the song where he does sound like that a bit, but the rest of the other songs, he's definitely got that sort of snarly, sort of rough, gruff type of singing. So good album. But when I said that this album was also released on Fringe Product, which was the Canadian label for the Canadian pressing, inspired me to play another band that was on the Fringe Product, which of course is Razor. classic Canadian speed thrash metal. This is the Armed and Dangerous EP. It's a reissue on War on Music, which is from 2012. It's actually the first official reissue of the album. I'll show this. And I'll show off also the sleeve and inner stuff, you know. I bought this at Raspbian Records. Last time I bought a vinyl from there, and the only time. Which is pretty much a detailed history of the band and such, recording of it. Real cool. Of course, here's also one thing cool about this is, fuck. Right here, yeah. Custom labels, real cool. What else can be said about this EP? It's a damn good EP. It's the less thrashy EP by Razor, if you ask me, because it's more speed metal, more heavy metal driven, kind of closer to like Motorhead or Raven right here. The band were definitely, one of the details said that they were listening to a lot of Motorhead and Raven while writing the Armed and Dangerous album. Again, it's very much sounding like their influences. So it's a great EP. I pretty much love almost every track off this EP. Tracks such as Killer Instinct, Hot Metal, Armed and Dangerous, Take This Torch, Ball and Chain, Fast and Loud. Of course, we got The End, which is kind of an intro kind of track. So it's, you know what? I also dig that track. I'm very fond of it, but it's a great EP. Another one right here. Another thrash metal album. This is Agony, The First Defiance. Swedish thrash metal band. Released on Under One Flag and Combat Records. So mine's is a US pressing, which I'll show off what I find to be a pretty, the cool label and such, but collage, photo of the band as well. Though that hairstyle though, that fucking hairstyle, poofy, look like a fucking poodle. But yet all the other guys look fucking badass, but he's got like poodle hair. But oh shit, I didn't know that. I didn't fucking know that. Look at the shirt the guy's wearing. If you can fucking notice, he's wearing freaking Discharge's Grave New World, which of course was the kind of glammy album by fucking Discharge. He's fucking wearing the shirt. So I guess he's a fan of the album. One of the rare times where you see somebody actually, giving a shit about that album, since most people really crap on it. I just didn't notice that until now. I had this for 2013 actually. Or 12, I can't fucking remember. But here's the Combat label. But yeah, I just didn't notice that. But it's a good thrash metal album actually. It's of course you can hear a lot of Metallica, you can hear Testament, which I did get a lot of Testament vibes as well, like the Legacy, the New Order. It's just it reminded me a little bit of that actually in some places, but Scott Waters did say on his No Life Till Metal page that it reminded him a little bit of a Creator, Corner. I guess there is definitely some technical ability in this album because there are some odd riffs on here. Some weird riffs that really, just strike at me. But it is definitely a technical album. It's definitely melodic, but still is very thrashy. It's also progressive. But it's far from being a progressive thrash metal album. Because it's not like Voivod. It's just more kind of that Bay Area sound, but it's actually, to be quite honest, I kind of like this more than most Bay Area thrash metal bands. Of course, again, there's definitely some Exodus influence on here. A little bit of Anthrax, I guess, but a lot of Testament and Metallica, and maybe some Creator, I guess, in there, but a little bit of Korn, I guess, but more also Exodus and so forth. Again, even though I like that one, I don't know how much I like this one now. This is another album I showed on my 5 Random Records. This is Brian May and Friends, Starfleet Project. To be quite honest, you really need to see any of the rest of this album. I remember liking this album more years ago than I do now. Because I used to have liked this years ago. Now, re-listening to it, I really don't know now. Because when I put it on, I was just sitting there. Fucking like nothing else to do. It's like, it wasn't making me move. To me, I think the real issue is probably a combination of Brian May and Eddie Van Halen. It probably sounded good on paper, but now, when you listen to it, because they're both different guitar players, their styles are very different from each other because of Brian May is a bit more classic compared to the style of Eddie Van Halen, because Eddie Van Halen is, it's all that tapping, fucking, all that shit, and just the combination isn't as good. It's like the whole sound of the album is like if Eddie Van Halen decided to join Queen. That's pretty much what you get. It's pretty much Eddie Van Halen and Queen. Might sound good, but really it doesn't. This whole album's at places is fucking boring. Especially on the tracks such as Blues Breaker. Fucking tedious. And especially in that beginning part of fucking Starfleet with that little fucking tapping ass fucking shit, which really was getting on my nerves. And it turns to a fucking AOR track with keyboard synths, whatever, I don't know. It just sounds so dated with them in the production. It's on EMI. I'm not gonna say too much. Again, I used to like that record, but maybe because of my styles have changed so much through the years that I've been more open to more different shit, I guess. Who knows, maybe one day I might come back to it and be like, hey, I like this album again, but no, I don't know. You know what, let's end on a good note. This is an album I just got in recently, just today, or when you're watching this, it's probably the day after. But this is The Rods in the Raw. What can I say? Of course, it's on the Shrapnel label. It's one of the really early Shrapnel releases, like 1983. But I'll show off it. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Alright, there. The green Shrapnel label. Can I get any more colorful? But here's the one interesting thing about this copy. Look, you can see, doubled. It's been doubled. I don't know how many, it probably is a pressing error, but I kind of like it, because it makes my copy seem more cooler, if you know what I mean. But I love this album. I fucking love this album. Sure, it probably isn't as, as far as writing goes, probably isn't as strong in the writing department as Wild Dogs, but still is a very rockin' album. It's still got some good, riffs on here. Still got some, great tracks like Hurricane, Can't Get Enough of the Fun. Witch's Brew, which is definitely kind of a nod to Ronnie James Dio's, Rainbow, which of course, David Feinstein being the cousin of Ronnie James Dio. Of course, you got tracks such as Go For Broke, which has an AC/DC feeling to it. Hot Love, which is an energetic rocker. Then you got Hot City, which is another great rockin' track, which has Carl Kennedy singing. Street Fighter. Actually, I think the whole album is fucking great. Of course, Another Night on the Town is also, again, kind of goes back to the Richie Blackmore-esque riffing. And even on this whole album, it's got that Richie Blackmore guitar playing on here. It's definitely more close to that. But yeah, I love this album. I fucking love this. And what's crazy is, I listened to that Lee Michaels album after listening to this. So again, you don't listen to that Lee Michaels album after you just got done playing a fucking Rods album, after you got done playing a thrash album. You know, you get the point. You don't listen to an album of that caliber after listening to an album of this caliber. So, of course, record is done, and that means this video's done. If you pretty much know some of these albums, you can comment, you know, in the comment section below. This is Heavy Thrasher saying I'm out. And I'll do more of these type of videos where I just show nothing more of vinyl. So, even though I have a video where I do show quite a bit of vinyl there, but yet not a whole lot. So, take care, and hope you had a good Friday.